Hey guys, what's up? This is Paul from retrylevel.com, and today we are going to be taking a look at the first 5 levels of EverQuest II. So EverQuest II has been around for over 10 years now, but some people still may not be familiar with it, and especially now that it's moved into a free-to-play system, which is actually quite nice, as opposed to when it originally launched as a free-to-play title. The free-to-play structure right now is pretty fair, at least in my opinion, and if you're in the market for a subless MMORPG, it's definitely one to check out. So to get started, much like any other theme park MMO, there's going to be quests to get, which include kill 10 rats or whatever. This quest in particular is going to have us be going over here to kill these little snake creatures. There's another quest here in the starting area as well that gets you started with collecting items. So if you see right here, fallen branch, garden, and ore, as well as stones up there, are all harvestable nodes. And over here we have another important aspect of EverQuest II, which are collections. So these glowing areas on the ground will enable you to grab a collectible loot item, which can then be added into different collections and ultimately turn in for rewards. So you don't want to miss those, and it kind of adds a little bit of fun into the exploration of the world. So I'll get started with our first quest right here, kill Shrumbler hatchlings. By the way, this is the Fae starting area. The Fae are the fairy people that you can see over here. And this is one of, I believe, 4 different starting areas. There are 2 for the good characters. This is a good starting area, as well as 2 for the evil characters. And you may notice that EverQuest II utilizes a little bit slower combat than other games such as World of Warcraft. The cooldowns can be a bit long if you're used to playing some of the newer MMOs. And then there is an auto attack bar which shows you when your auto attack will hit. So we are almost finished, just one last Shrumbler to kill, and we can turn this in. As you saw, quests are offered by NPCs with quills over their heads, and then they have a journal over their head if you are finished. I will point out again that this is the new race that dropped with Altar of Malice last year in November. And I'll show you a pretty cool feature of the class, one of which actually you've been seeing. The combat animations for the wings are part of that. So if you look here, when I attack, instead of using a sword, which I do have equipped, he uses his wings and fists to kill enemies. So that is one of the premium features for the Erican class, which is called Noble Erican, which the unlock is around $40. The base unlock for this race does not include those. The other feature that I was talking about is the wing mounts. So you come level 1, you can use mounts, at least ground mounts, which is pretty nice. So I will equip these wing mounts, which will allow me to run faster. So I'll show you real quick. My running speed without the mount equipped is about that fast. And then I'll activate my wings here. You can see the buffs show up on the left side of the screen here, and I have a much faster speed, so it's pretty nice. Although other mounts are usable if you have them, so you don't need the wing mounts. They're just kind of a fun feature if you paid for the full class, which in my opinion is quite expensive. So I'm not sure why exactly Sony decided to go with a $40 full premium class, because already if you're spending $20, I would say that's kind of a hefty price tag for a class. So let's see what else she needs. I'm gonna go talk to another NPC, and I'll equip these boots real quick that I just got. So unfortunately those don't offer any appearance upgrades, so I'm not gonna be able to show you anything new. I'll get gloves in a bit here. And we are off killing bees now. So these 2 wasp foragers over here, and as you can see over there was another collectible, are our next targets. And I also got another buff. For the Guardian, this is Guardian class as a reminder, which is a tanking class. This buff is more of a group buff which increases threat. I can put it up right now, but it won't do that much. These little bars below my health and power are concentration. So I can only have 5 buffs that require concentration up at a time. Alright. If you are playing, I'm just kind of running through this. This is actually the 3rd time I've recorded this video, because the other times dragged on a little bit, and I want to do this as fast as I can to give you a great overview and to show you the full 5 levels without you getting bored. But if you are playing the game and just exploring, I would highly recommend that you don't miss the collectibles around. It's kind of fun to see what you can get and then also get rewarded for that as well. So as you can see, some gloves did drop. So luckily this is actually plate armor, which I do wear. So we can try these on. I think our old gloves looked better, but definitely these were an upgrade in damage mitigation, so that's kind of fun. And we are done with this quest, so we can come turn it in.
Aren't you glad to see me?
I am glad to see you. I'm not sure what the deal is with my mouse. And I don't know if these are actually even going to be an upgrade anymore. I guess we would be losing 5 mitigation and gaining 4 strength. I think I'll just leave them off. So now we need to go recover the Fey Blooms, and we'll encounter some enemies that are ready to attack. So if you see enemies whose names are outlined in red in EverQuest II, that does indicate that they are hostile, and as you can see, just started attacking me. The leveling process in EverQuest II is quite fast, especially if you have any veteran rewards from a previously opened EverQuest II account, because you can get lots of free experience potions there. Otherwise, it's a pretty fair leveling process, and they've streamlined it a lot, as well as there being a dungeon finder. So we got some chain bracers. Luckily, even though they are chain, they do offer us an upgrade. So let's see if our character model makes a difference. Guess you cannot see it, unfortunately, but we do have better braces now. Okay, so we have the blooms and we're ready to turn them in. Let's see here.
Aren't you glad to see me?
Okay, so luckily the quest finder does offer you easy access to usable items for your quest. So I can just use that without having to open up my inventory. And also, I will say that the quest objective marker on the minimap is very, very helpful. And I believe that was a rather recent addition to EverQuest II. I've noticed in the level 30-ish zones, at least one of the ones I went into did not actually have proper quest markers. So that may be a problem in some of the other zones, but definitely when you're starting out, they'll be properly marked. These 2 new buffs that I got are exclusive, so I can only have one active at a time. I basically have a DPS buff or an armor buff, so depending if I'm playing group content or if I'm doing solo content. We are playing alone right now, so I'll just activate the DPS buff. We can talk to her. Alright, and before I climb up the tree, and yes, EverQuest II does let you climb up trees and some mountains if they are marked like this, I will grab my mount from Ultra Malice, which is called a Pterodon, and it is pretty cool, so I will show you guys that. Whoops. Okay, so now I can just go into my mounts, and I cannot use this mount yet actually, but I can still use its appearance. So even though I have the wings equipped as my mount, I will just get rid of that real quick, and now when I resummon it, it will show up as the Pterodon. There you go. So I can run around on his back and do whatever I please, jump a little bit. That is a flying mount, so once I get up to level 85, I will be able to fly around on its back. But for now, I'm stuck on the ground. I will, since this is the premium race, I will also get 3 more wing mounts, which actually change the wings' appearances. And let me fly as well. So one of the things about EverQuest II, actually I think there's a hotbar in the middle of my... Why is there a window there? I don't know. I'm not sure what the invisible window is doing here, but sorry. Anyway, the falling in EverQuest II actually is rather slow depending on your race. So you guys can kind of see, you can actually steer around and kind of glide down. I think it mainly pertains to the winged races, such as the Erican here or the fairy races. But I could be wrong on that. We are almost to level 5. And I'm really looking forward to showing you guys some more of the game's features. There's great player housing, which lets you collect a lot of different house objects through the questing in the game and also the dungeons, as well as an actual dungeon maker feature, so you can create your own dungeons for other players to run through. And you also have other stuff. I wish I could remember what I wanted to say. And actually, I will disable the wing animations real quick so you can see how he looks when he's just fighting with a regular sword. So you can go to appearance. You can put anything here for appearance, which is really nice. I know that some games don't have that feature, such as Guild Wars 2, which makes me pay for changing my armor appearance. So we got more quests to clear out the Grobins, which look suspiciously like goblins. And now you can see that I am indeed wielding a shield and a sword. Probably I'm gonna leave that up because the wing animations are okay, but not amazing. And definitely not $40 amazing. One of the nice things about EverQuest II is that you notice my mount pops up right after I'm done with combat. I don't have to resummon it. It automatically just goes away when I'm in combat and then comes right back up when I'm out. So that's definitely a time-saving feature that's nice to have. I also tend to like the atmosphere in this game, just because I do play World of Warcraft. I like to play Guild Wars 2, I like to play Rift. I like to experiment with tons of MMORPGs, but definitely EverQuest 2 is so atmospheric. You can just tell so much love went into the game, and the developers really wanted to create, actually, you know, expand from the original EverQuest world. So there's just definitely they nailed that feeling, I think. And so even though the graphics do look dated, you know, that's you can't really argue about that. But there's still kind of, I don't know, a certain I don't know, there's something I do still enjoy about this style. And unfortunately with EverQuest Next coming out, they did go for the more cartoony WoW style, so I probably will miss this old school look. All right, one more. I really do want to figure out why there is an invisible hotbar on my screen, which I will do off camera. And as you can see here in the chat, the goblins are saying something that I cannot understand. But actually, if you get a drop, usually like it's an organ, like a Groban eye or something, and it will offer you a quest to better understand that race, which will ultimately let you understand what they're saying. So that this applies to multiple different races, and it's kind of nice. You can expand your character's ability to understand the world around them. So especially, I mean, I guess if you like that immersive factor to your games, then it's definitely something cool. Unfortunately, I haven't seen any other players on while I've been recording this, but actually in the last two videos, oh, and as you can see, this is actually one of the items that starts the lore quest to ultimately understand what they're saying. So I did level up to level 5. I'm going to pause the video here just so it doesn't go on too long. But I will share with you these. Maybe it's not a hotbar up there. Anyway, this is a heroic moment. Fighting chance. Yeah, heroic opportunity, which kind of changes combat depending on what you decide to choose. It'll highlight skills and then you choose that skill and you choose the next skill, and whole lot of fun. I never use it. And I will focus on the next video. I'll show you the capital city of Kelethin, as well as the basic player housing. And then from there, I will make another video once I'm in a new zone for you guys to check out. So I hope you like following along with the EverQuest II adventure, and you know what? I really hope you join me in-game, so make sure to add me. I'm on the Antonia Bale server, Retrelius. This is actually Retrelius, probably the 3rd or 4th, because I've recorded the video and then I've deleted the character so I could re-record a new video. So unfortunately this is the, I don't know, the cloned Retrelius, not the one we originally created, but he still wants friends. So make sure to add me in game, and hopefully we can play together and you can enjoy learning about EverQuest II with me. Or if you're a higher player, then you can just give me gold. So thanks guys. Take care and make sure to check retrylevel.com for all the latest gaming news. Have a good one.